everybody, and welcome back to another video in this series of mine, where I compare the assassins of the series on numerous different subjects and traits, and give my personal opinion on which one is the best in said category. Now, in my last video, who's the scariest assassin, I asked you guys to leave some requests down in the comments, and a lot of you had some really good ideas. Thank you, by the way. But the most popular idea I saw was who's the most agile or who's the fastest assassin. And no offense, but who's the most agile assassin doesn't sound like the cleanest title, so I decided to go with who's the quickest assassin, but it's the exact same thing. Today we're going to determine which assassin in the series is the quickest. So things like speed, agility, and overall quickness will all be taken into account. Also, just in case you're new to what's turning into a pretty big series of mine, I'm only including the assassins of the AC series, so Cassandra and Alexios, Shay, and Eivor will not be part of this discussion, and I decided to include Bayek because a hidden one is technically an assassin. Keep in mind as well, there's no definitive way to prove who's the quickest assassin, so it'll be purely based on my opinion, and feel free to leave in the comments who you think the quickest assassin is and why. But I want to start out by talking about the Fry twins, and let's start with Jacob. There's not a lot of evidence to go on to determine Jacob's quickness and agility, however we do know he's one of the smallest assassins in the series in terms of build and height, which usually contributes to more agility. He has agile looking animations, he's clearly quick, but I'm not sure if he's on the level of some of the other assassins. Again, same thing with Evie Fry. She has a small build and she's a quick and crafty assassin, not the type to rely on brute strength. She's the same height as Jacob and of course has the same parkour animations, which is likely just Ubisoft being lazy and not wanting to give the twins different animation sets, but we can assume her and Jacob are around the same level in terms of agility. As I think we all know, Connor is a beast in every physical attribute. He's very athletic, he's one of, if not the biggest assassins in the series, and he has great strength and agility. Some assassins may specialize in different attributes, but Connor is just overall athletic. His agility and quickness is very prevalent in his tree parkour. He grew up learning to climb trees and hunt, so it's clear where his skills originally came from, not to mention the years of training under Achilles to help hone his skills. I'd for sure put Connor in the running for quickest assassin. Next we have Altair, who I feel is another very good candidate. Altair isn't quite as big and built as an assassin like Connor. He's a bit more lean, and his agility shows through his movement and parkour animations, although he is a very slow climber, which is kind of hard to use as evidence since that's just how parkour for AC1 is, but I've got to take educated guesses here where I can. I do believe Altair is a very agile and quick assassin, and I wouldn't be surprised if many people consider him to be the quickest in the series. Once again, Arno is another very good contender for quickest assassin. I think if we're talking purely parkour animations, to me Arno's looks the most agile in the series. I mean, he does all sorts of moves and stylish tricks in parkour and moves around very quickly. He also has a bit of a leaner build like Altair, which leads me to believe his physical strengths are in his agility and speed. He also moves very swiftly with clean, fluid motions. It's not like his agility is ever compared directly to the other assassins. None of them are, so again, based on what I see in the animations, movement, and his build, he definitely seems very agile to me. Edward Kenway seems fairly agile himself. One would assume you'd have to be to climb ships and everything. There's nothing too specific about Edward that would lead me to believe he's extremely quick and more agile than some of the others like Connor, Altair, and Arno, but it's fair to assume he's quite agile as well. I don't believe Bayek is the quickest assassin. His animations, specifically with parkour, are a lot more slow and clunky compared to some of the others. And again, like Edward, there's nothing that would really lead me to believe he's quicker than some of the previously mentioned assassins. And finally, we have good old Ezio. Ezio is probably the most well-rounded assassin in terms of attributes. He's good at everything. In my opinion, I don't see him as the quickest, but certainly quicker than some of the others we've talked about like Edward and Bayek. So, who is the quickest assassin in Assassin's Creed? This was really hard because again, there's so little evidence to go on, but in my opinion, the top three would be Connor, Arno, and Altair. Personally, I believe the quickest assassin with the most agility, speed, and and overall quickness is Arno. From his height and build, along with the animations he has in AC Unity, to me, he appears the most agile when compared to the others. I would totally understand if you think it's Connor or Altair as well, though. Like I said, Altair looks very quick, and Connor is just extremely athletic, and despite him being taller and more built than some of the others, it doesn't subtract from his quickness. But I do believe from the very little evidence we have that it can be inferred that Arno is the quickest assassin in the series. But again, feel free to let me know in the comments who you think the quickest assassin is and why. And once again, if you have any cool or unique ideas for what category you may want to see me discuss next for this series, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you considered leaving a like and subscribing to the channel if you're new here, and checking out some of my other videos I've made for this series, because I've made quite a bit at this point. But other than that, thanks for watching everyone, and have a great rest of your day, assassins.